This is something I grew a little bit fond of, and I stole this from Dave at Barnyard Bees, and he actually supplies the on his website, Barnyard Bees, and on YouTube on his, and he has the plans for these. And this one is one which I built out of. It's just old scrap wood that was sitting around, and it's got essentially it's very easy. You don't have to do any datoing. There's no crazy routing or anything like that. It's just a pretty simple assembly. You got little handles on here which creates the frame rest on the inside, and it's high enough here. It's got an entrance that's high enough so that it can accommodate a frame that has a queen cell at the bottom of the frame. It gives it plenty of room in here, and so this is a kind of a nifty design. I like it a lot. Okay, and this one is one that I made out of scrap pieces hanging around of frames, not frames, of boxes. So I had boxes sitting around, pieces of boxes that I didn't have. I had the part A's, but I didn't have the part B. So I had like the end pieces that I could use because they were dadoed here. And as you can see, it's been used, and I've used them well. And the whole idea behind all this is that you get two frames. That's what you do. It's not as high, so you can't use a frame. If you found a frame that had a queen cell on the very bottom, it would be a little bit risky putting it in there. It might get mashed. But the whole idea behind it is it gives you an option to do a couple of different things. And so if you wanted to use a whole slew of these, let's say you found swarm season, swarming going on in here, and there's like queen cells all through the darn thing, or supersedure cells all through your darn hive. What you do is you divide the entire hive up equally between as many of these as you need, these two boxes as you need, these two frame boxes, and you have them side by side. After you equally divide, you can, you of course want to check for your queen and see if she's even still there or not. Supersedure might mean that she's already gone and you've got like replacement queens. But the whole idea is you just do equal division of all your resources in here, especially when you find queen cells in there. That makes it even better. And then you locate them in exactly the same area. This is the point. You locate them exactly in the same area where your original hive was. So the entrances are sort of in this area. And the returning foragers will sort of sort themselves out. They will sort of equalize the two frame boxes. And then you, every day, you just kind of move them around. You randomly move them around so that the population sort of is equally spaced out between them all, to get them settled in here, helping any queen cells that might be in there and to grow. Another thing you can do, especially this time of year, and I'm a full believer in this, is that because bees are their morale is good. They're in a building morale, they're in a queen rearing morale, and I've done this where I just take a frame of eggs and young larvae and I plop it in there. And do a little bit of shaking of some nurse bees in there with a frame of resources, like a frame of honey with some pollen on it, and close the box up and come back a month later and I've got like a perfectly good queen. This time of year, I'm a firm believer that this time of year there is enough resources around that the bees are going to build you great queens no matter what. They're going to build great supersedure queens, they're going to build great swarm queens. That's just what they do this time of year, and that's been my experience. During the flow, during that springtime flow, their morale is good, their resources are good, and they're going to use them up appropriately and make you really, really good queens. So this is a suggestion. It's something I've done. It works great. Let me just kind of give you a sense of, like, in this one, there's two in here, and I think that it's a worthwhile thing for you to try out. Barnyard Bees came up with this idea as mating nukes. Instead of having little mini mating nukes, you have a mating nuke which is already the size of a box. So there's none of this crazy transferring of a queen and having two different sizes. You just plunk that thing. You could take this whole darn thing and plunk it into a 5-frame box and build from there. Or you could take the queen out after she's mated and put more queen cells in there if you want to, and you get this little factory all summer long of queen building going on in there. Once your mated queen comes back, she's not going to fill out like she would a mini mating nuke And you can have those little mini mating nukes swarm in a jiffy, and that's not a good thing. But here you've got time for her to build out, and once she builds out, you can take her and plunk her into another hive and let the bees build yet another supersedure queens. And you can do this, as long as there's resources and there isn't robbing and all that stuff. You can do this all summer long. And if you've got some of these going, you can get yourself a little queen factory going. It's what it's just a matter of spending a little time with a table saw or jigsaw or something and cutting the pieces and assembling them. So that's it from here. I hope you have fun. There's like a scout that was buzzing around here a minute ago, so hopefully he's looking at the slum gum and the infused bait trap I've got going on here. All right, so that's it from here. Bye.